What's up, y'all? It's your girl Unique, and you tuning in to Open Mic Night, where I'll be tuning in to all things music and entertainment. So today, we got radio personality, host, DJ, event coordinator, eat all of the above, Party Boy. How you doing?
What's happening, Unique?
What's good? So, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about your campaign, where you from, what you do.
So, I go by Party Boy. Like you said, I'm an event coordinator, but I actually started as an MC and a host. I'm from Baltimore City. So I've been hosting for about 10 years now.
Okay, that's what's up. So it's a lot of different paths to get into hosting. So tell us about how you got into it.
I got into hosting really starting off. I went to Morgan, but before I went to Morgan, I was a manager. I was in artist management, and I was managing a group called B&Me, meaning Brothers Must Eat. You feel me? And in that group, it was 5 of us, and it was me, my brother Judah, rest in peace, Jigga, and Band Hunter Izzy, which is now Band Hunter Izzy, T.I.'s daughter's baby father and boyfriend.
Okay, that's what's up. So at what point did you shift to go like legit and make it a brand?
It wasn't until I was in school at Morgan for about a year. See, mind you, I didn't really start hosting or hop on the mic until I was a manager. But when I got to Morgan, I started promoting. And after I started promoting, it's like one hand washes the other. So I was good with announcing myself in a room. Like when I got into a room, I was always good at utilizing the opportunity put in front of me. Like say you in orientation, like we was at orientation at Morgan. And like I'm just a dude from Baltimore. Morgan is in Baltimore, but majority of the people that's at Morgan, a lot of people at Morgan, they're not from Baltimore. They're not from the city. So I had to be the one to stand out because they all like, oh, I wonder what Baltimore is like. So as soon as I got the chance in orientation, I made myself noticed. So I did the dances, the two-step, the what's up, y'all, my name is, all of that stuff. And from there, I became the popular kid on campus. And after I was the popular kid, everybody was coming to the parties I was doing or promoting. If I'm giving out flyers, they're going to pull up. And then they didn't want to see me perform or do whatever I do. So it really went from that. And the more, clout or traction, motion I got, the more it added me to want to be the center of that and really be the voice of that.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about growing your platform on social media.
So to grow a platform on social media, personally and organically, I feel like you really got to get to know people. You got to meet people. Like I think places like college are one of the easiest places to do it because you're surrounded by people your age. So you have an open opportunity to continuously meet people every chance you get. Like make every conversation count would be my word of advice to anyone trying to grow their social media or grow their platform or grow their notoriety is make every single conversation count. If you feel like you can't gain nothing from the conversation, I would advise you not even to have it sometimes, to be honest, because even if it's just an exchange of names like, yo, my name is, your name is, okay. And then you utilize that, you either turn it into $1 or a follow. And that was my thing. Every conversation I had, I made it count.
Okay, so, views don't always transcend the ticket sales or people popping out to the party. What is it about you that you feel like attracts people from your social media?
My personality, I give them a little piece of myself, So when I try to involve people, I make it as much about them as it is about me. Even more about them than it is about me. You know what I'm saying? It's for them to have a good time. They smiles fuel my pockets, basically. You know what I'm saying? So as long as they feel like they coming to something that's for them and that they're a part of, they're going to keep coming.
Okay. So at what point in this did you start booking talent and really taking it to the next level?
Well, that was really the beginning of everything for me. Mind you, I say I was a artist manager.
Right.
So booking talent was like my first nature, like connecting the dots, like getting behind the scenes, like, hey, like I want to get my artists up here and do this. It's just the reverse psychology of it. So instead of getting my artists on stages, I'm getting other people's artists on stages. And then even down to booking talent, like for example, for a long time, I wasn't the one booking the talent. I was the host. I was the face. So I would meet all of these execs and managers and everything every time I'm booked, but I wouldn't know what to do with them. I would just create that relationship, or I would link up with them out of town. Like if I was in somebody else's city and they was a popping artist that came to one of my events, I'm in their city and they showing me love. But I'm not the person that necessarily booked them originally, but I'm building a relationship. So when the time came around, which is now, to utilize those relationships, that's what I do. And that's how I go about booking artists. 90% of the artists that I book is off of personal relationships. Not because you the hottest thing. It's because you my dog. I want to see you shine. That's really it.
Okay, so North Carolina, you know, it's kind of small, but it's a growing city. How do you feel about this city and being fruitful and artists coming through here? How do you feel about that?
I feel like people don't value North Carolina as they should. They don't realize how many cities are actually in North Carolina. Not even talking about South Carolina. North Carolina. It's so many cities. You could be hot in North Carolina and collect a bag. The Baby did it before he went industry and really started going outside of North Carolina. But the Baby was collecting bags. Stunner for Vegas was collecting bags. Who else is doing that right now? Set It Off is collecting bags. Get Rich Zay is collecting bags. Who else? Lil Zach is collecting bags. They going to these different cities. There's so many different cities in North Carolina that if you just get hot in North Carolina, you might become rich in your own way. So
do you think hosts and DJs really bridge that gap for music?
Yes. People like DJ Chuck T do. He makes conferences where he brings all of these people together that's in media to Charlotte. Shout out to Chuck T, man. That's my guy. You know, but it's people like those, the gatekeepers that actually open the door for young people, right, or people that are doing their thing. People like Chuck T do that. People like DY Fireman, the Hot 979 does that. It's certain gatekeepers you can rely on to actually open the door if you're worth it. But there are some gatekeepers that don't open the door. They just want to keep eating until they can't eat no more. And then they retire out the game. Then they just put somebody in position that's old too.
Okay. So like you said, you use the word gatekept. A part of this, my reason for doing this is because the industry is gatekept. So I wanted to bring people up here and show them the steps. So being a manager and a host and a DJ, what advice would you give to artists who are hungry and trying to really bridge that gap and take themselves to the next level? Relationships
is the key to a lot of that stuff. Work on your music and your craft. Invest in your craft and your music. Don't just be an artist. Be able to make your own graphics. Be able to shoot your own videos. Be an audio engineer. Know how to do all of these things so that if it comes down to it, you can do it yourself, but have a team to be able to do it as well. So I would say relationships and skill set.
Okay. And another thing that I really admire, is being paid off of being creative and doing what you really love. What are some of the struggles off of banking completely on yourself?
Sacrifices, losses. Everything ain't going to be a win. For every win, there was probably 10 losses. So, don't take the L's too hard. Turn your L's into W's, because when you get 2 L's, you turn it upside right. You got a W. So you just keep taking your L's, learn from your L's, turn your L's into lessons, like Drake said, and never give up on yourself. I think that's the biggest part, because it's so easy to give up. You can give up every time you lose. Like, you could give up, be like, man, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, but it's the perseverance to keep going, even when you feel like you're gonna lose, like, in that you're not gonna win. Like, you gotta keep going, no matter what, because people gonna see that perseverance, and it's gonna fuel them to keep doing what they doing. You don't know who watching you. You never know. So you gotta keep going for yourself and for them. Okay. So we see you doing Mimosa Mondays. We see you going up. What's hot for Party Boy? What's the next? Oh, keep a lookout for that 410 day, man. This is going to be my 3rd annual one. 410 day is basically a day where I get to bring the culture of my city, Baltimore City, to North Carolina. For the past years that I've done it, I've always brought somebody from the city down here. Ever since I came down here, I've been trying to bring little pieces of the city with me. And I know what they say, like crabs in a barrel, you can't bring everybody, but you can bring some people, or you can show them the culture, what they missing out on. Like, if you look at TikTok, people love Baltimore, but they don't go to Baltimore. They love Baltimore, though, like the dances, the culture, the slang, the words, and all that. They love it, but I want to really get them a piece of it to understand what it is they looking at. You know what I mean? So like last year I brought Dancing Bar. He's literally like top 3 dancers in the city that's doing their thing, that's traveling, that's people getting booked to do this and do that, and went famous on TikTok, along with Bunky Jr. Big shout out to Bunky from Park Heights. Also along with TSU Terry, that does a lot of things for the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I mean? But the Park Heights strut is the dance that everybody be doing. I just learned it. I've been killing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say I want to teach people stuff like that.
Okay. So last year, I was at Rileyville. I seen you out there. I rock with the campaign. Are you bringing it back?
Oh yeah, that's another thing. See, we got some things on the way, but Rileyville, that's definitely gonna be something for the city, because what Rileyville came from is basically artists from the city don't get love for Dreamville. Like I rocks with Dreamville. Dreamville is a dope team, a dope campaign. I started on the street team for Dreamville. The first year we came, and then the second year and the third year. But one thing I noticed is that the artists here in North Carolina, here in Raleigh, don't get that love. We coming to see industry artists mostly, outside of like J. Cole, who came from Fayetteville, outside of Tusi, that came out of Raleigh, not from Raleigh, from Syracuse, New York, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, people like Tusi, people like The Baby, these are North Carolina artists, but what about the nitty gritty? What about the ones that's putting in their work? You're not going to see Lil Zach on that stage, but who got the most traction as far as getting played in the club? Lil Zach. Who got motion like Set It Off, like Get Rich Zay? Like there's a lot of artists that's doing their thing that are not going to touch that stage. So that's what Rileyville is for, is to give them a platform. While they have all these tourists in town, all these people that's not from North Carolina, really get them a taste of the city that they in.
Right. So, like you said, we got a lot of artists that's coming out of here hot. What do you think it is? Like, what do you think's missing? Why don't you think that people really don't show them their flowers? I know we talked on that a little bit earlier, but I want to dive a little bit more into that.
Okay. Why? Egos. Sometimes when people but that's not even just North Carolina. That's literally every city. If you get hot in your city, you feel like you made it. So you start treating people like you made it. And that burns a lot of bridges. They start overtaxing for shows and all types of crazy stuff that just make people not want to rock with them. But I feel like it just takes people coming together. Not just the artists having egos, but like I said before, the gatekeepers having egos. The gatekeepers feeling like the younger generation ain't got nothing to offer. You know what I mean? So we really just got to come together, build a platform for ourselves, and work at it. You know, all the $1 million companies is coming here, like Apple, if I'm not mistaken, Google. It's a few people, the companies that are coming here and building a corporation. So why not invest into this space? It's like prime real estate.
Okay.
We got to do it right.
And I know you said you started off as an MC and stuff. Would you ever consider putting out a track?
Oh, I have. I used to be a rapper.
Okay.
I was a rapper before I became a manager. But them songs would never surface. It's the reason why I became a manager. But I rocks with the artistry. Like I've always had an ear for music since I was born. So if I had the lyricism to go with it, I would definitely be an artist. But because I have the ear, I would rather be a PR or something, you know, A&R, stuff like that. I would really be more in the field of that if I was to dig into artistry even more. But right now, being a radio personality does it for me. If maybe in the years to come, I decide to hop into the corporate side of things and do management again and things of that nature, I would do that. But as an artist, I'm cool. Unless I just like make a TikTok banger and then everybody, oh, sing that song. Yep, I do it. But other than that, like artistry, I leave that to the artists and the creatives that love doing that.
Okay, so how'd you start tapping into radio?
Radio? I've always wanted to do radio. Since I was in Baltimore, 92Q Jams of Radio 1 was actually like what I aspired to be on. You know what I'm saying? So that was when I was in Baltimore, young, listening to the radio. I'm like, oh, I want to be on the radio. Like every time we get in the car, we hear them, we hear their voices. And eventually when I got to Morgan, I got the chance to be on 92Q because I had went to like the festival called AFRAM and they recorded a drop from me because I had like such a spunky voice, like a voice that just sounded like I needed to be heard. And I was like, what's good, y'all? We downtown at AFRAM, 92Q Jams in the building. It's your boy, Party Boy, something. And they played that for months, damn near years, like 2 years. They recycled it and they used it all the time. So every now and then I would be on the radio. I would be in the car and I would hear my drop.
That's inspiring. So one last thing. What advice would you give to anybody aspiring to be a visionary and strictly get paid off of doing what they love and being creative?
Surround yourself around the right people. A lot of the time it's about your surroundings and your circle. So if you're around people that's not really doing anything, it's going to be contagious. You got to put yourself in spaces where people are really working hard to be in the place that they want to be in. Get around creatives, cameramen, audio engineers, all the people that are doing something to get to where they want to be. But the people that just want to smoke and drink all day and just go out clubbing, no shade to anybody that go clubbing because I'm the club connoisseur. But if that's the only thing you want to do, that is a problem.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for showing love. Make sure y'all tuning in to Open Mic Night. We're going up from here. And yeah, one.
Oh.